Hello everyone and welcome to the table. So what we have today, this is a knife from OKnife. So this is the OKnife AION. And so the AION right here, this is not a new design necessarily, but it is new in this handle material for sure. And so I think what they're trying to do is make this design a lot more affordable and more mainstream. So what do we have here? Let's check out the AION, because this is of course a gorgeous knife design. You can check out very long and sleek, very Quaken-esque in shape and size. And so this right here is designed by Ostap Hell. And he is a really awesome knife designer. A lot of great organic rounded designs that he's done with a few different companies, of course. And OKnife is one of the newest places he's worked with, right? And so this right here, this variant of the AION has these green micarta handles. So they feel nice and grippy. So I imagine when these are wet, you're still going to have a nice grip on them. And as you use and carry this knife, the oils from your hands are going to kind of meld into that micarta and give you kind of a very unique worn-in finish. And so that's really one of the beautiful things about micarta. So this is a very nice everyday carry knife. We can see the drop point blade here, the AION markings on there, and you'll notice this blade steel. I know it's very small, but this is a 14C 28N Sandvik steel blade, and Sandvik steels for the past couple of years have been super popular with imported knives. It's a great everyday carry steel, easy to sharpen, uh, keeps a decent edge. It's one of those things that you're getting the best EDC steels for great value nowadays. But again, just a very thin overall design. Let's go ahead and check out the overall length of the knife though, because it's not really a small knife by any means. So let's go ahead and check out the blade length here. So our blade length is coming in right at 3.5 inches long. Overall length is coming in a hair over 8 inches. And so it gives you an idea of what we're working with here. And same thing with the weight. The weight is not super heavy despite it being such a long knife. So let's go ahead and check out the weight. We are coming in 2.89 ounces, and compared to the box says 2.81, so there is some variance there. But we can also compare the weight from the micarta AION here to another variant. So this is the variant with the OAL, the aluminum scales, which comes in a little heavier. You can see it's 3.3 ounces. So there is definitely going to be a weight difference between the two versions of the knife, because other than that, the knives are essentially identical. But the lower weight is not only due to the micarta. We do see there is definitely some cutouts in the steel handle. So the steel frame right there, looking very nice. A lot of weight reduction went into that as well. So that plus, of course, micarta gives you a nice lightweight knife. And while you're looking at the top right here, of course, we have a nice run of jimping there. And there's a nice little gap. So this tiny little gap here at the back, I find the closeness of that look very precise. And I think that's, again, part of the style of the knife. The fact that our scales are so close together. A very, very cool look. Makes it look very well put together. But again, you can see these two knives side by side. Again, the same model. One just has the aluminum handle, one has the micarta. And what I really do like in the micarta version is our blade right here. We have this gorgeous stone-washed finish. I mean, I'm nothing against coated blades. They look good, but stonewash, shows wear and tear a whole lot better than pretty much any other blade finish out there, in my opinion, right? So action on these knives, of course, is just impeccable. These are all, as far as I'm aware, all of the OKnives are made by Kaiser for OKnife. And so the AION, in my experience, should be no different. But what Kaiser does is make a lot of great knives. They are very good at their craft. And so the action is just what you would expect. Very nicely made. Feels great in hand. And that applies to either one of these variants of the knife. And so this green micarta version, this is going to be new for November 2025. So I'm not sure if it's out yet, but I'm hoping it'll be out pretty darn soon. So if this one looks like it floats your boat, it's your thing, by all means pick it up. You are going to have some cost savings for the micarta version versus the aluminum version, because this is that OAL, which is that very hard, durable aluminum material. So it really depends on what you need. Do you need the absolute tank of a knife, or do you want something a little bit lighter that's really just as durable, but it's just going to wear differently, right? And of course, color matters, right? These are both green, but very different greens, right? So love the action. You can see the action on both. Very nicely done. So just very precise. And so the Aeon here, this particular knife did not come with a coin, because if you're an O knife buyer, you're aware, hey, some of the knives come with coins. I don't know if they even do that anymore, but I do love my coins. So O knife, start making the coins again, guys. I really love these, just collectibles. They're fun to collect, fun to play around with, but I haven't gotten them with the past few O knives, so I highly recommend, if you're listening to this, O Knife, start making coins again. The collectability is always very fun. So that's just my thoughts on that. But it does come with a very simple box and pouch. And luckily in the pouch, of course, we are going to see a cleaning cloth. And most importantly, we are getting some extra hardware right here. So it looks like we have probably an extra pivot screw, as well as a couple of body screws in there as well. Up at the top, actually that might be a pocket clip screw. So we can see a pocket clip screw and then what looks like body screws. Because one of the coolest parts about the design of the Aeon right here, take a look at the pivot. Wait, you can't take a look at the pivot. The pivot is completely hidden by these scales, right? So isn't that awesome? So I mean, obviously you can't adjust it, but in my experience, neither of these knives so far has come loose, has required any adjusting. And so you get, again, a really sleek appearance. There is not a lot of hardware going on there. We have our body screws, and that's about it. So I imagine if you needed to adjust it, you would just remove the 4 body screws and these pieces would pop off, and give you access to that inner frame on the inside of the knife. But what you do get as a trade-off is you get that nice sleek look. So no external hardware for the pivot, which is very unique because, again, the pivot screw is kind of like the main feature on so many knives out there. But the Aeon has kind of foregone that just for the sleek look. So a very thin, robust carry knife, liner lock action. You can see the excellent centering there. No issues because this knife runs on bearings. Very smooth. But these are my first thoughts and opinions on the O Knife Aeon. So this, again, green micarta, should be released soon. I'm hoping by the time you see this, you can go buy it. So check for a link in the comments if I have one up. Hope this was of interest to you, and let me know your comments below. I hope you all have a nice day out there, and I'll see you later.